So my name is Maxine. I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called Pick My Brain. I'm just going to present my screen just to give you some context. I'm an early stage startup founder. I've raised $300,000. I have a fractional team of 7. We've been bootstrapped for 3 years before we raised. We have 300 clients in 11 different countries. We're mission-based. We have about $200,000 in sales this year. And we are in the process of raising $1 million right now. So really quick, where did I come up with this idea? How did I land on this? How did we all find out where we are in our careers? I am an investment banker turned economist turned startup founder. And when I left my career as an environmentalist and an economist, I took an entire year on and I just asked a bunch of people around the world, really, really smart people, questions. And over that course of that year, I found out that all these people that I started interviewing had something in common. And it didn't matter really what they did or where they lived, you know, from a YouTuber to an Olympian to a blockchain startup founder to a climate change specialist to humanitarian. All of these people I interviewed over the course of this year had this one thing in common. And it was that they all were interested in sharing their time, knowledge, and experience with other people. So yay for humanity. I was really excited that everyone did genuinely want to share their knowledge. But the problem I kind of saw was that they actually didn't know where to start. They didn't know how to articulate or value their time, and nor did a lot of these people have the energy to consistently get the word out that they did have something to value. It's a lot of work to kind of like let your network know that you're open to help and to kind of formalize that. Which to me meant that there were all these smart and passionate people from all around the world who were finding it really difficult to share their knowledge with people. And I thought that this was pretty shocking, and this is what I wanted to spend the rest of my days working on, because I think knowledge is one of the most important things to exchange, and it doesn't have any carbon emissions associated with it. So it served my environmental purpose as well. So I said, you know what? Okay, cool. It's time to coordinate and collaborate all of our efforts. All of these people want to do this. How can we make it easier for all of us to do this? So I built a tool, Enter Pick My Brain, an online tool that helps people package, price, and put their hand up and say, yep, I'm definitely open and available to sharing my knowledge. Kind of the components of what makes us successful is a few things that I'm going to walk you through right now. So we've got a profile. Again, I didn't see anywhere on the market that any of us professionals had a profile that signaled, this is the knowledge I have, and this is the knowledge I'm open to sharing. LinkedIn was the closest version of that. But LinkedIn really talks about what we've done and not what we want to do. And it doesn't have that invitation or those boundaries around it. So I kind of took the same idea of a profile, but geared it towards asking people these really important questions like, hey, what are your knowledge tags? And what is your mission? And what is your story? And how do you want to help people? And can people book you one-on-one? And if so, how often can they book you one-on-one? Are you open for that? Can you opt into this? So we built this the kind of knowledge profile. Second, we found out, right, people are struggle when it comes to finding different ways to make themselves available. And so we actually took it a one step further and made some really easy opt-in offers that most of us as professionals have been asked. So I don't know if you guys have ever been asked to have your brain picked or to go for a coffee and conversation, or if someone can mentor you or have a one-off private one-on-one session. But most of the professionals I interviewed did have these inquiries from other people. And so we actually packaged these offers and started the professionals off so you can opt into any of these offers. So I thought, you know, make it really easy, package and price them. We were really inspired by Ethereum and their smart-based contracts and how they create these smart-based contracts that allow two people to come together and execute commands. That's essentially what these are. And they're just pre-packaged. So we allowed our brains and anyone who wanted to share their knowledge to opt into whichever offer kind of served their mission. Then we said, you know, it's really hard to do this all on our own. Like if you want to share your knowledge, you have to do your own promotion, you have to do your own web hosting, you have to consistently let people know. We should probably take all these offers and put them in a global online shoppable marketplace. And this is really kind of, again, a knowledge marketplace. I have this vision where, we can go to Amazon and buy any product in the whole world, but why can't I go shop any person? Why can't I pay to meet any person in the world, or pay for conversations or one-on-one sessions from the world's, people who want to share? So Pick My Brain, again, we build these profiles, we get people to opt on these offers, and then we upload them on to this collective marketplace. So again, Etsy has done a really good job at becoming kind of the marketplace that we all go to shop independent makers' goods. We're hoping Pick My Brain becomes the place that the world goes to shop conversations, coffee and conversations, private one-on-ones, again, from professionals from all around the world. The next thing that we added, I don't know if you, actually I'll play it later, but it was this ability, again, to monetize. All of our time and energy is worth something, and we really wanted to put a value on that, and we wanted to make it really easy for people to both make money and spend money in this knowledge marketplace. So we gave them a credit card, and in the back end of their profile, they've got this credit card. We usually start them off with some credit, which allows them to start shopping and getting used to this idea of buying knowledge. They also can earn knowledge, again, by selling Pick My Brain calls or coffee and conversations. And whenever they want, they can kind of withdraw that money into their bank account. So again, like we've got Shopify, which is this all-in-one storefront that helped a bunch of us, build e-commerce stores. Pick My Brain is the all-in-one kind of tool for anyone who wants to start a knowledge commerce store. And then we overlaid a personal dashboard. Super important to see your bookings, who around the world is booking you. We do want to motivate people to sell knowledge. I personally believe that knowledge commerce is going to surpass e-commerce and sales in the next 5 to 10 years. I certainly hope it does as an environmental economist. But yeah, just a really clear indication for you to kind of track your results. So for myself, I've been using the tool for 3 years as I've been bootstrapping this startup company. And by simply letting my community know that they can book me for these micro experiences, I've made about an extra $30,000 every year for 3 years. Again, through calls, coffees, workshops, and one-on-ones. So it's like a pretty sizable. I mean, I work it because I've like wanted to build the tool. People on our platform typically make $200 per session, and they usually do 1 to 10 sessions a year. And then we've got all these people selling their knowledge, listing their services, being shoppable globally. But again, this is a new kind of economy. This is a new, passion-driven knowledge economy that we're all getting used to. So we also overlaid, which I was wanting to do today, new opportunities to network. So we actually invite everyone in our marketplace who signed up to become a brain to this monthly event called a knowledge exchange, where we bring everyone together and we break them out into breakout rooms, and we simply ask them, what do you do? What are you passionate about? How can you help people? What do you know a lot about? And we've run these since late last year, probably about 10 of them. And every single time we run these events, our marketplace sales go up, our referrals go up, the community becomes tethered. We all start to understand what each other does, and other people start to understand what you do and can act on your best interest. We've also recently started asking our brains to host lunch and learns for our community. And again, this is just ways that we've seen that kickstart everyone's kind of success. And I haven't seen marketplaces do this as much. And I'm really surprised based on the results I've seen. Like I said, like right after an event, we'll have a bunch of bookings on our marketplace. So again, this creative collisions, can we introduce people in these unique ways once a month that will kickstart this new economy? And yeah, I just feel like genuinely nothing really compares to like a really beautiful conversation with a beautiful mind. A conversation really can change the course of your life. It can change your perspective forever. It can give you something to look like at that wasn't in your line of sight, a new piece of content. And if all these co-benefits are attached with a simple 30-minute conversation, in my economist mind is like, okay, well then we should make those conversations available, bookable, and purchasable, so that people can experience them more frequently. So I was intending to make this event really kind of collaborative and kind of ask you guys just like to express what you know a lot about, just to even show off really quickly. I know there's only a few people in today's room after the long weekend, early networking sessions. But when I run these, we've got like 20 to 100 people in the room, and every time it's different. And you just start to, by a simple question, I know a lot about, you gain a sense of like how much knowledge is in a room. And what I was intending to do to this event, so I'll see if anyone's willing to talk, but I was going to run a few rounds of curated conversations where I break off everyone just to have some conversations. But I don't think we're going to do that today because we both don't have breakout sessions and we've only got 5 people. So I think instead, if anyone wants to jump in, please feel free. But maybe what I'm going to do is I'll just show you the live site and my profile, what I kind of just described in real time. And yeah, just ask again, if you guys want to jump in, ask any questions, feel free, super open. But I'll just quickly show you what this profile has invited into my life. Simply by building, again, this portal on the web that clearly illustrates, again, that I'm bookable. So think LinkedIn with a book button. And that shows you, again, what I know a lot about, how I can help you, why you might want to talk to me. And then again, we're starting to build space for these other, areas of ourselves that actually, I don't know about you guys, but I hire everyone on my team. I've hired not because of their resume, but because I really jived with them and their mission and their passions first. And then secondary, I found out that their skills were complementary. So I'm starting to shift the way I hire and actually partner and collaborate with people in the world by going mission first, skills second. So we're just trying to bring that through on the profile too. Sometimes, I just wish I could like know everyone's mission, because then I could help them, on that pursuit. I think we should all know each other by our missions just as much as we should know each other by our titles. So we've kind of made space for that. We scrape over our LinkedIn because that is super important, our work experience and what companies we've worked for. I've got a bit of a portfolio, again, just to visually display my work. Again, this all-in-one tool. How do I build a profile that shows off someone in all of their value in a way that allows and makes people want to book them? And then I've got all these reviews. So anytime someone books me on Pick My Brain, they're asked to leave me a follow-up review. And for anyone who's a business owner, I'm sure you have the highs of the business and the lows of the business. But when I am at a low, I will come back to these 159 reviews that I've collected that people think I'm valuable, and I read them and I remind myself what it is I do for people, what it is they find valuable in me and talking to me and connecting with me. And it's such, this is probably, my most proud kind of page. And I was just like, I feel like, again, when we help people, could we all record it and give that person the opportunity to thank us and collect those over time. So again, Pick My Brain gives us an opportunity to kind of collect those reviews. And then on the right-hand side here, again, I don't know if anyone here has read about the passion economy or the knowledge economy. Anderson Horowitz, which is like one of the biggest investment firms investment firms. They are a venture capital firm. They're talking a lot about this new economy. How can we inspire the middle class? How can we help people actually make a living, create revenue streams based on their passions? And this is what I've done over here. So I talked about those smart programmable contracts. So you'll see right here, I just have a let's connect call. It's a 30-minute over the phone. And this one's for free for me. I just say, let's hop on a call and let's just start talking. I just want to learn more about you. And I have experimented with charging for these and keeping these free. And for me, it's just a gift because they lead to so much more, typically like a lifetime of business actually, and connection. So I have this total open portal on the web where I just let people know that they can connect me. And I've done, 354 calls over the last 3 years that has led to investment, led to my employees, led to more brains, led to a deeper understanding of the world and the people in it. And this is how I collect knowledge, is just like letting people in. I also have a coffee and conversation for those who want to hop online. Sometimes people will ask me, I'm like, yeah, just book me in. Let's hop online. Let's just start talking and see where we go. I just want to learn more about you. And then I also monetize. So I have this session called a Dream Out Loud session. It's 90 minutes. It's one of my favorite sessions where I just hop on a call with people and give them an opportunity to kind of think about different ways that they could dream out loud and make their dreams come true. I've done about 77 of these at $250 a session. I've packaged 1 month of unlimited support for those who just want to draw on me over the course of a month for different business advice, or again, creating revenue streams. I charge $1,500 for that. I run a mastermind with fluctuating between 30 and 100 people a couple times a week, bringing people together to talk about really important things that are going on in the world, just to keep all of us informed. I've run workshops. I have a speaker fee. Again, all of us out there who have knowledge, I believe we all have a speech in us. And again, if there was a global marketplace where we could browse all these independent speakers, would that unlock more potential for those that want to hire speakers, and for us who every so often would like to be available for speaking gigs. So that's kind of how I use my profile. And it's really interesting just browsing the brain, seeing how other people kind of, express how they want to use their profile and are experimenting with using their profile. You can search by both profiles and services. And like I said, once a month, I just invite all of these people to come collaborate in this Creative Collisions event, which I kind of intended to run today, and put them in a Zoom room and break them out in breakout sessions and let them talk. And that unlocks value, like so much value. And I've just been so surprised at that simple equation, and am really inspired of like doing this for other organizations. So later this evening, I'm actually doing a Creative Collisions event just like this, but for a series of doctors across North America. So our thought is, if we bring all these doctors together once a month for a year, that's it, to just collide. Again, cross-disciplinary knowledge happening, people being able to keep each other up to date on all the new practices and the theories, etc. Lots happens, and it's 12 sessions in a year for them. We're doing it with other industries as well. But again, yeah, just like this is kind of what we're all about, is just creatively colliding people, letting people follow up if they want to, one-on-one. And I've just like found kind of the power of one-on-ones. So I'm just going to pause there for a minute. I'm going to see if anybody is interested in just, or has any questions, or wants to say anything or introduce themselves really quickly. So I'll just give some space for that. Nils, you're the only person I can see, so I'm just going to pick on you. Yeah. Oh, you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. I wonder. No. Pauline, is that on our end, do you think?
I'm not sure. It seems to be working on our end. And I can confirm, Nils, that you are unmuted. So.
Hi, Colton. If you feel like joining us, please jump in too. No.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Oh, is that Colton or
That's
no?
me. Yeah, that's Colton.
Hi, Colton. How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Trying to navigate VSW.
Yeah.
As best I can.
Me too. Want to tell us what you're all about? What's your, give us a quick introduction. What do you know a lot about? What do you care a lot about? What brings you to Vancouver Startup Week?
Yeah, I like branding, brand strategy, kind of marketing and communications across venture, tech, entertainment, a lot of the kind of business verticals that Vancouver is pretty prominent in. So I like telling stories.
Cool. Who do you serve? You said startups mostly?
Yeah. I My dynamic reminds me a little bit of your dynamic. I run like masterminds or kind of closeted, closer knit sessions between executives who are looking at industry verticals or trends and trying to understand what to do or how to approach them. And then I kind of build narratives and strategies around that.
Cool. Do you have a website that we can check out?
I have a couple, so no, not really. I
Okay.
kind of tailor it to who I'm talking to.
Each one. How long have you been in business?
2 years, I would say 2 years. I was a management consultant in IT previous, so I've been more on the creative and the design side and the strategy side the last couple years.
Okay. Who is your first client that you kind of brought on board as an independent?
A company called Arca Funds. They're a blockchain meets traditional banking company. So that's the kind of client that I usually work with, is really new industry meets traditional industry, has to figure out how to tell their story and bring those worlds together. That tends to be the place I find myself.
That's good. I find that narrowing down to that, like now I'm like, okay, I get it. Cool. New industry meets traditional industry needs to explain what they do and differentiate themselves in old world. So you're like new world meets old world, which is like a really interesting space. I find that right now more than ever. You're probably like, you're probably in a good position because everyone's kind of flipping. There's so much new creation happening. Have you ever had someone ask to pick your brain or take you out for coffee or conversation?
Yeah, all the time. That's one of the reasons I'm attending this session, is I have to monetize it better. Because I
Yeah,
usually just end up getting pulled in many different directions. And, for me, the fundamental value add is just helping people like realize their dreams. So I will kind of push myself beyond my limits, but now I need to build like a better model for how to keep the lights on while that's happening.
I love it. Well, I mean, this is exactly what my tool does. If you've got that inquiry coming, it's just really nice. I found if you just formalize it and be like, yeah, for sure, I'm open. Here's where you can book it. It actually makes it even more comfortable on the user side too, because they kind of know the boundaries of your offer. But I've got lots of case studies around that. What are you doing? What is your strategy right now to do that?
I would say I'm evaluating platforms right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
What's the best platform to put my image and brand up on
yeah,
to monetize most effectively? Yeah.
yeah. How much do you think you would charge for a session? What would you feel come? Do you know?
Usually I'm in the $200 to $300 an hour range.
Yeah,
For I usually charge at like New York City brand strategist rates,
yeah.
which is up in that range. But it depends on the engagement, and that's usually average.
Boundary. Yeah, that's good. How many sessions do you think you would do of one-on-ones a month? Would you have a prediction? Or
It depends on the client. I maybe like once a month would be standard for a retainer, but then I do also one-off engagements, which are more like sprints.
yeah, yeah, I like it. Nils, I don't know if your mic is working, but I can share some case studies of some people in similar situations. Is it working? You know, say hi. No, it's still not working. I can see you moving. Maybe you can type. Colton, so yeah, here's a few case studies. We've got a few to draw on, but our kind of strategy right now as we scale up this new world meets old world knowledge economy, we're going after individuals, so people who are already sharing their knowledge looking to get paid, creatives, YouTubers, TED talkers, podcasters, bloggers, anyone who's producing content. I think you can make that content 3D. And what I mean by 3D is like, if you're going to put out a piece of content, you might as well invite someone into your $300 offer. If they've resonated with that piece of content, give them an invitation to take it further. I wish all blogs were interactive. I wish at the end of every podcast, when I was so moved by the podcast I listened to, there was an opportunity to go further. And so I'm just kind of trying to plant that into people's minds, as like, you know, here's a great revenue stream, and it's so simple if you're already creating content. So those are individuals. Pick My Brain also onboards groups. This is people within a community who are looking to unlock more opportunity among their members. I don't know if you guys have heard of Volition Startup Founders in Vancouver. They were our first B2G client, and I'll kind of speak to them a little bit later. But we're working on other opportunities to just identify these groups on the internet that already have that like, know, and trust. I don't know if you guys are part of any membership-based organizations, but I feel like sometimes within those membership-based organizations, if all of them were bookable, that membership just became more valuable to me on like so many levels. And for us as a startup founder, it really gets that scales economy going. And then the last quadrant that we've decided doing this is that there are a bunch of people out there who have been super successful already, have had their successful career, and aren't as interested in monetizing, but are again most interested in passing their knowledge back down to the youth. And so we have again that mentorship offer that they can kind of opt into. But Colton, you kind of remind me a little bit of Sadia. She's super, super good, like practiced in her career, went independent. She became a YouTuber and started producing content. And she had so many people reaching out to her, asking her, like, how did you do it? What is your process? What has your journey been like? And we said, hey, Sadia, do you want to build a Pick My Brain profile? This profile that'll allow anyone in the world to kind of book you and take you up on that offer that they're asking for. And so we just built her a Pick My Brain profile, and we packaged and priced one offer. This is when we were first starting. And it was a simple Pick My Brain call for $150 for 60 minutes. And she only wanted to make 4 of them available per month. She didn't want to book totally out on them. She just wanted to say, hey, YouTube audience, I've got a new way you can connect with me. It's one-on-one. It's totally limited. Have at her. And she was our very first client, and it was a really good test for us because our tech tool had to be able to allow anybody in the world to call her one-on-one. Our system kind of calls both parties and does the whole automation. But in 6 months, she brought in an additional $3,400 in income. She did 18 Pick My Brain calls. 6 of them were repeat. She got 12 reviews on her profile. And she made them scarce, which made them a bit more viral. And it was just fun for her. And what she said was, she just wanted a way to connect with her audience. That was it. Conversational exchange, no follow-up work, good boundaries, and fun. I don't know why she's still surprised, because she's got like millions of followers now, but she's still always surprised that people just want to pay to talk to her about her journey. And she loves them as much as the other people do. So it's a really nice little case study, and has got us, thinking, this would be a great platform for anyone who has that content that is getting those requests. So I don't know if that kind of matches a little bit about what you're offering, Colton. And then we have a case study from Grace. She kind of fits more of this mentor hat. Grace has scaled 5 businesses over the course of her career, and now her passion lies in just making herself more available to young women in business. So we built Grace a Pick My Brain profile, and we packaged and priced a call, a coffee, and a private one-on-one. And we did put that price on it, but she built a custom discount code. I can show you guys the back end if I still have time. And she made that discount code available to young women. And again, super successful in achieving what she wanted to do. For her, it wasn't about the money. It was about giving back, passing her knowledge back down, and setting up that formal process for that to happen. So her time was taken seriously. And she's kind of doing the podcast circuit now. And so whenever she kind of ends her podcast, she's always, if she invites, if anything I've said resonated, reach out to me on Pick My Brain. You can just look me up on my name. I've got calls, coffees, and mentorship available. And if you're a young woman in business, please feel free to use this discount code. So again, really nice, easy way for her to, allow herself to be booked formally as she's doing these circuits. And again, her priority is passing her knowledge back down at this point. And then my last case study that I've got, and I'll open it up again if we want to chat, but is this group on board. So Volition is a company in Vancouver who has a series of startup founders. And when I first met them, I actually didn't know that I could book them. And I met Paul Broussard. I don't know if you guys know them. They do a bunch of pitch competitions in Vancouver, really active. And we said, hey, I didn't even know you could book. Like, could we build your team a Pick My Brain profile and let your community know that they're bookable? And so that's exactly what we did. We built them all of these advisors. This is that group on board. We built them Pick My Brain profiles, packaged and priced a free call and a paid session, because that was their motivation for their company. And again, overlaid that discount code so that when they did their pitch competitions, they could gift paid services to people who won. And again, they did really good. They were looking for a way to make their advisors more bookable. It wasn't really clear that they were. They wanted something a bit more than Calendly. Again, Calendly is just a tool. It doesn't really show off your knowledge or collect reviews or is part of a community. And we just were able to like centralize everything for them to kind of show off all those bookings. And they made, they probably did like 50% of their bookings that were paid and 50% for free. And yeah, so what I'm kind of discovering, this is a bit of our traction. You know, the more brains we onboard, the more bookings we have, the more sales that are generated, which attracts more brains. And to really kickstart the same thing on the buyer side, the more buyers we have, the more sellers we have, the more brains we are onboarding. And we just actually launched this gift card. We're experimenting with this, like, how can we generate more demand for this world? Can we give the gift of knowledge? Can we give people a credit card or a gift card with money on it that they can now go to this marketplace of people and book people's knowledge? And I don't know about you guys, but again, in a one-on-one session, it's crazy how much you can learn and get support with someone who's there to show up for you.
We actually have a question from Nils who
Perfect.
posted on
Yeah.
Vancouver. So let me just read. So, hi Maxine, very cool presentation. Thank you. Selling your expertise is a fantastic idea. What percentage does Pick Up My Brain take from its brains?
Yeah, really good question. So our business model, I've got it on here actually, is it's free to try. We actually are just launching a 3-month free trial that gives you access to the entire tool and all the offers. And then that free plan will give you the opportunity to have 1 free offer and 1 paid offer. And we take 20% on the free plan. And then on the paid plan, we take 10%, give you unlimited access to how many things you want to package and price. And if you pay us upfront for the year, we take 5%. So yeah, I feel like typically it's pretty in alignment with the other tools out there. And yeah, any other questions, follow up on that? It kind of covers so you get your website hosting, you get a booking schedule platform, invoices are handled, that review system, that global searchable marketplace, the networking, and then the call systems are all automated. So the 10% kind of pays for a bit of Stripe and a bit of our connections globally. Yeah, good question.
How am I doing now? Can you hear me, Maxine?
Yes, I can. Nice to hear you. Nice to see you. Thanks for interacting.
What a fabulous thing. Thank you so much for presenting to us. It looks fantastic. My mind is going 100 miles an hour thinking of all the different people I'd love to contact and ask about. So good on you doing that, and great for Vancouver. My audio didn't work, and so apparently you have to hit some sort of lock symbol in the upper left of your screen and restart for anyone else out there who screws that up like me. But wow, I'd love to contact publishers and musicians and producers and designers and all of these things. So what a super great site. We'll be watching you, and thank you so much for presenting today.
Thank you. Thank you. You just made my entire day. I appreciate that. And I'm happy you see it. Kind of when you see it, like there is so much, like, I really do think that there's kind of an Amazon size marketplace play here. And I think it's time. I don't know about you, but where I spend my money, like I just can't stop but imagine, like, what if I could ask anyone in the world something and pay them for that? What if I could go for a coffee and conversation with anyone? What does that open up to me? So when we all collectively, this is a really collective business. I find a lot of other tools. There are other tools in this space. They're just tools that help people monetize. But I'm trying to be like, I think we all need to both invest in each other and sell each other. And once we figure that out, there's just like unlimited potential within there to be unlocked. And I dream of the day that I could go for a coffee and conversation with a mathematician from Germany and maybe an artist from France and maybe a startup founder from New York, all in a day. That is what inspires me and lights me up. And our mission, Google's mission, was to make the world's information more available, accessible, and useful to society. And Pick My Brain's mission is to make the world's brains, these smart people who want to share their knowledge, more available, accessible, and useful to society. Like, what happens when we're actually all accessible? And what happens when we all boundary our time and put a value on it? That's like, I'm just so passionate about figuring out that exact answer. If you guys haven't seen, I won't play because I don't know how the audio is, but this is Jack Dorsey. He's the CEO of Patreon. And he launched this video called The Second Renaissance. And it's about a 7-minute video. And it's him talking about this creator economy being born right now and how fast it's happening and how big it is. And again, like I said, Anderson Horowitz is talking about this as well. And I just think, if there's something that we're passionate about doing, like, why don't we have a marketplace to shop it and support it? So I highly recommend watching this just to get a huge, like, even to fire, like, to see globally how fast this is kind of happening. That's really good. And I'm just going to play one video. Actually, it's our Creative Collisions event. This is we just did a promo video of this event that we bring together, which I wanted to do for Vancouver Startup Week, with breakout rooms. But this is kind of what it's like. I wonder if it'll play here. How did brain dating make you feel? Brain dating made, sorry. How did brain dating make you feel? Brain dating made me feel exhilarated,
inspired, curious.
I'm feeling full,
Entranced,
vulnerable,
energized, excited about the magic of humanity.
I'm going to say unsatisfied because I want more.
I enjoyed the conversations.
We wanted to invite people to come meet and greet and exchange in new ways. And so we invented this concept called brain dating.
Brain dating is a meaningful conversation with another interesting person, and it's awesome.
I like to frame it as this is a space to have intelligent conversations with intelligent people about intelligent things. I love the smiles after. It's just so cute. Like,
this is my favorite part of the whole event, is everyone just like sneaks onto the screen with big grins as they all got cut off at their, rushed finished conversation.
I just booked the last person I talked to actually go into business together. So
yes. And this round is the theme. The question is, what is the number one most important thing to you right now?
So you're creating the permission space for total strangers to dive into immediately intimate conversations. And it makes me realize that if we could just globally provide that quality of context, imagine what the world would be like.
So yeah, that's kind of our events. And like I said, I feel like I put it in my competitive, what makes us different, what sets us apart from all these other platforms that are kind of allowing us to make different revenue streams. And to me, it's that, we've got this marketplace and we've got this networking world, and I feel like BNI needs a bit of an innovative touch, and we're trying to fuel that, and really all it is about literally letting people talk about what they're passionate about, what they're knowledgeable about together globally, because now our audience is very global, and watching what happens after that, and just combining the ability to book each other, pay each other, and experience each other, and make that a thing.